So, I'm feeling a little anxious. So I want to go on a walk. And I'm hoping by the end of this short walk, I'll be feeling less anxious. And maybe if you're feeling anxious, you come with me. And maybe by the end, you'll feel a little less anxious too. So I just so happen to be lucky enough to be in paradise right now. And one thing I want to talk about is, and at first perhaps this is going to sound a little discouraging, but it doesn't really matter where you are. It's not going to make your anxiety go away, because anxiety is something internal, and it's not something that can be remedied with an external solution, like being in a wonderful place. And sometimes it even comes with guilt or shame, because I think, how can I be in such a peaceful and wonderful place and still feel this way? But that's something that in the last few years I've learned to get over. One way I've learned to get over that is by sort of leaning into my anxiety, allowing myself to feel it, and getting increasingly comfortable being uncomfortable. And I want to do that on this walk. So we're going to a very special place, which is to the edge of this cliff, which is really high up and makes me very uncomfortable. Hold on, let's check something here. Let's set you all down. I want to check my heart rate, see just like where I'm at right. So I'm at 140, 135, kind of high, kind of scared. Getting increasingly scared as we go on. This is treacherous, by the way. Like, it looks like I'm in an active volcano. I walked out here yesterday, so I'm familiar with the terrain. And I noticed that when I walked out here, I got very uncomfortable. And I am also someone that gets very anxious with heights, so the treacherousness of the terrain combined with the heights is sort of like the perfect storm for my anxiety. But then once I returned from being out here, I felt much better. So I want to bring y'all out here with me. I want to do this together. So again, I'm perfectly safe. I know where I am. My family, who I'm on vacation with right now, knows where I am. And I just want to walk with you, and I want all of us to get a little uncomfortable, or rather I want to get comfortable being uncomfortable. This water's going to splash us a little bit. All right, so we're going to walk a little closer to the edge. And as you can see, we're going to get a little wet. Just give you an idea of how high up we are. I'm watching where I'm going. I'm being safe. I'm being steady. See this? See how wet I'm getting right now? The mic fell. I'm just going to go out there until I get comfortable. I'm not a daredevil, by the way. I'm not like standing, dangerously close to the edge. I'm being cautious. I'm watching my footing. And as I stand here, and the feelings and the symptoms of anxiety start to arise, thoughts start to pop into my mind that reinforce those feelings. I imagine myself slipping, or I imagine the rock breaking and me falling. And it goes to show how there's a cycle. Anxious feelings beget anxious thoughts. Anxious thoughts beget anxious experiences. And anxious experiences beget anxious feelings. At some point, you have to let courage or bravery step in and break the cycle. You know, nobody ever tells you that bravery feels exactly like fear. Can you imagine if they did just freaking us just died?
One hour later.
Oh, shit. Sorry about that. All right, I'm just going to bring you out here with me. I'm sorry if this makes you all uncomfortable. That's the whole point. It's a long way down. By the way, the first time I ever came out here, I could barely stand to be here for 30 seconds. I'm much more comfortable now than I was then. And I'm not a daredevil, but I'm getting closer to the edge than I had before. And I'm glad we're doing this together. Thank you. See what we're at here. 96. Look at us. Braver and braver by the second. And a lot less anxious than when I first walked out here. And I appreciate you doing that with me. Y'all want to see me get splashed again, don't you? Here we go. Let's get right in the splash zone. Let's take a look at where we were versus where we are now. I think a huge element of overcoming anxiety is acknowledging that while it's not a comfortable feeling, fear has its utility. It warns us of danger. It warns us of high heights. To some degree, it keeps us safe. In that spirit, we have to recognize when it's useful and then when it's become habitual and isn't serving us. And one great way to do that is doing what we just did together, which is putting yourself in a safe but uncomfortable position and getting comfortable there. And once you've done that, you'll be better equipped for the next time you feel afraid. It will be less intense. It'll be more manageable. And do it enough times, and you may get to the point where you don't feel afraid at all. I just want to say how grateful I am that you took this walk with me. And let's continue to walk together.